As time flowed gently by, Emperor Chu Yu of Emperor Chu's lineage appeared to be much more low-key during the distribution of tasks among the 7 first-rank Marquises. And in the blink of an eye, half a century had passed. Finally, it's my turn to have priority again. Emperor Chu Yu, with the help of the first-rank Marquis command, had discovered a newly emerged Emperor-level task. Even among the first-rank Marquises, Emperor-level tasks were rare, and the 7 had to choose in sequence. Guardian of the Ghostfire World? Emperor Chu Yu gazed at the task, his eyes ablaze with excitement. This task might even be more valuable than the Northern Sea Beast Forest. My priority rights. With a cold smile, Emperor Chu Yu did not hesitate to claim the task for himself. After being taught a lesson last time, he had kept a low profile for half a century. Now, at this crucial moment, he made his move again. As he seized the task, the other 6 first-rank Marquises were also informed simultaneously. Interesting. It seems we've underestimated this Chu Yu. He's quite bold. He dares to snatch it directly? He's asking for death. No hurry, Marquis Chu Yuan will surely be the first to act. The other first-rank Marquises each had their own thoughts. Indeed, upon realizing that Emperor Chu Yu had dared to use his priority rights to claim the Emperor-level task, Marquis Chu Yuan was immediately consumed by nameless rage that scorched his entire body, and even his soul. A newly advanced being of Primal Chaos Realm with weak strength should just bear it. How dare he compete with me? Marquis Chu Yuan was furious. In his view, only those at the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm had the qualification for a fair competition. A newly advanced being from the Primal Chaos Realm, even with the aid of unlimited godly bodies and the resources of a first-rank Marquis for cultivation, still had a huge gap in strength and was not qualified to compete with them. Emperor Chu Yu. Marquis Chu Yuan contacted Emperor Chu Yu, transmitting his voice directly. You've got some nerve to snatch an Emperor-level task. What? Am I, a first-rank Marquis, not qualified to seize an Emperor-level task? Emperor Chu Yu responded indifferently. Transmitting his voice across the vast distance, he was not afraid of that madman. It seems the lesson from last time didn't work on you, Marquis Chu Yuan's voice transmitted with murderous intent. I hear you, Marquis Chu Yuan, are very powerful. Among the 7 first-rank Marquises, you are the strongest? Even fighting many at the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm without meeting an adversary? Emperor Chu Yu said with interest. I am currently inside my mansion. If you have the guts, kill your way here. Marquis Chu Yuan paused. Storm into the first-rank Marquis mansion? Even a guest elder's cave mansion could harness a trace of the power of Chu Capital City, something that even beings who had transcended the Primal Chaos Realm feared immensely. And a first-rank Marquis mansion could harness even more of the city's power. Even some ancient godly kings wouldn't dare to charge in recklessly. You're just going to hide in your mansion? Marquis Chu Yuan said. You guessed right, I have no mandatory tasks before the protection period. So during the protection period, I will stay inside the Marquis mansion. Emperor Chu Yu responded leisurely. I won't step out of the mansion. What can you do to me? Marquis Chu Yuan was infuriated. I will not yield on any task, Emperor Chu Yu said coldly. You and I are both first-rank Marquises. Think you can suppress me? Delusional. Very well, that's just great. Marquis Chu Yuan's face twisted. Emperor Chu Yu immediately cut off the communication, unwilling to deal with that madman any longer. Inside his own Marquis mansion, Emperor Chu Yu was completely fearless. After cutting off the transmission, Emperor Chu Yu thought for a moment, then immediately contacted Luo Feng. Guest official Luo He, I have some conflicts with the other first-rank Marquises. It's best if your disciples don't go outside for the time being. Oh. Luo Feng, who was in seclusion, received the message. Don't worry, I will instruct them. Luo Feng had entrusted Morosa, Moyu Qingyan, and Primordial Ancestor with instructions. Yeah. Marquis Chu Yuan, driven to fury, caused thunder to flicker as he instantly tore apart the pavilion building he was in, and even 2 maids outside the pavilion were caught in the aftermath. The maids were turned to ash in an instant amidst their terror and despair. Damn it, Marquis Chu Yuan's eyes were completely filled with lightning. Just then a figure appeared high in the sky, none other than Marquis Chu Ji. Chu Yuan. Marquis Chu Ji rebuked, striking at the soul, restoring some clarity to Marquis Chu Yuan's eyes, who then looked up to see Marquis Chu Ji descending. Big brother, Marquis Chu Yuan gritted his teeth. This Emperor Chu Yu did it on purpose. He is deliberately provoking me. Yes, he is deliberately provoking you, making you go mad again so that you break the law set down by our primordial ancestor. Then he can imprison you in the Ghostfire world for 10,000 years, Marquis Chu Ji scolded. Marquis Chu Yuan paused, looking at the only brother he trusted. You've come this far, become a first-rank Marquis after enduring many hardships, Marquis Chu Ji said. You have exceptional talent, and you even have hope to transcend the Primal Chaos Realm. At this time, don't fall for the other's scheme. If you go mad and act recklessly, it will only amuse Emperor Chu Yu. Marquis Chu Yuan nodded. In all matters, pay attention to the laws. As long as you don't break the prohibitions, that's all that matters. Marquis Chu Ji was also helpless. This brother of his still had some sense left, but as he cultivated the primordial secret method inheritance, his temperament became increasingly uncontrollable. Many of the Thunder Ancient Country's imperial clan members have uncontrollable tempers, bursting out at times to confront even godly kings. My brother has certainly inherited some of the traits of the Thunder Ancient Country's imperial clan, Marquis Chu Ji thought to himself. Having inherited the bloodlines of two great imperial clans, and after becoming a being of Primal Chaos Realm, Primordial Ancestor personally guided Marquis Chu Yuan in his cultivation, causing his strength to soar. Summon a few guest elders to come over, we'll discuss and find a solution, Marquis Chu Ji said. All right, Marquis Chu Yuan nodded, reining in his temperament. A moment passed. Marquis Chu Ji, Marquis Chu Yuan, and the three guest elders gathered. These five Pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm existences discussed the matter, which was also a way for Marquis Chu Yuan to vent his anger. Given Marquis Chu Yuan's temper, failing to vent his anger would only make him grow more irate. Emperor Chu Yu said that during the protection period he would stay within the Marquis mansion and not take half a step outside, said Marquis Chu Yuan, his ugly face full of thick black hair bristling with fury. I really wish I could smash him into a pulp. Fine, if he won't step out, I refuse to believe his wife and children won't. To act against the close relatives of a first-rank Marquis is equivalent to taking action against the Marquis himself, added Marquis Chu Ji from the side. I'm not going to kill them, just rough them up a bit, Marquis Chu Yuan, his body emitting black chi, insisted. As long as they don't die, it's merely a minor punishment. Taking action against relatives is crossing the line, Marquis Chu Ji shook his head. This isn't allowed, that isn't allowed, then what can we do? Marquis Chu Yuan said angrily. The man in blue robes on the side chuckled. Marquis Chu Yuan needn't hurry. The reason Emperor Chu Yu is unyielding is because he wants to compete for resources, so we should strike at what he cares about the most. Isn't his biggest help at the moment that guest official Luo? There are no laws against disciplining a guest official, and not even death would be investigated. In the flame-wind ancient country, there were many guest officials and strife among them was common. The ancient country couldn't possibly manage it all. Right, the most powerful person beside him is that Luo, nodded Marquis Chu Yuan, but Luo is at the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm level, certainly practicing several life-saving secret techniques, making it too difficult to kill him outright. He wasn't confident either. While we may not be able to kill him outright, as long as we destroy him once and take away the treasures he carries, it will certainly be a huge blow to him, the man in blue robes said. A strong person like him would carry the treasures he has accumulated over the long years with him. Die once, lose all his treasures, and even if he could survive by using life-saving techniques, the pain would be immense, said an old woman at his side. With our means we might not be able to kill him outright, but taking his treasures will not be difficult, said an old man whose left arm was encircled by golden rings leisurely. Good. Marquis Chu Yuan nodded. He's hiding himself, so we'll act against his guest official. Let's see if this guest official Luo will dare to continue helping Emperor Chu Yu. Luo Feng did indeed entrust Morosa, Moyu Qingyan and the Primordial Ancestor, so even if they went out, they were just divine power incarnations taking a stroll. In Chu Capital, 1000-star tower. I was once suppressed by the primordial cosmos for most of a reincarnation era, intently perceiving the myriad states of beings and the movement of all things. The Primordial Ancestor sat in a small building within the 1000-star tower, drinking as he observed the lives of the beings outside, yet the myriad states and rules of movement of the beings in the land of origin are much more mysterious. After obtaining a wealth of inheritance from the Heart Shadow sect, the Primordial Ancestor started integrating many experiences of his predecessors and began to create a Dharma at the eternal level for the virtual universe. As the Dharma started to take shape, the Primordial Ancestor's strength improved significantly. Sometimes what's real is also an illusion, and an illusion can also be reality, the Primordial Ancestor smiled. With my Dharma in its initial success, I can form an illusionary avatar, which possesses a third of my true body's strength, the Primordial Ancestor said contentedly. I hear that even among beings of Primal Chaos Realm, there are few who have the method of creating an avatar. Suddenly, a ripple descended. The Primordial Ancestor saw a figure in a blue robe standing to the side, its intangible might already completely binding the Primordial Ancestor. At this moment, the Primordial Ancestor felt as though the blue-robed figure was like an endless heaven and earth, leaving no room for resistance, with the gap between them being unimaginably huge. Are you the Primordial? The blue-robed figure looked at him. Indeed, this was an eternal true God-level physical body, not some divine power incarnation. May I know what the Great Saint desires? The Primordial Ancestor rose to pay respects. I hear that the guest official Luo went to great lengths for you, bringing you to Chu Capital, said the blue-robed figure leisurely. Send a message to Luo promptly, tell him, if he doesn't come, you're as good as dead. The Primordial Ancestor was slightly taken aback. Yes, I will send the message immediately. The Primordial Ancestor still kept a very low profile. Inside LuoFeng's cave dwelling, Luo Feng was summoned from his secluded cultivation. Primordial Ancestor, is there an urgent matter? Luo Feng looked at the Primordial Ancestor. Luo Feng, my illusionary avatar in the city's 1000-star tower encountered the guest official, Great Saint Tianyu, of Marquis Chu Yuan. He wants you to go there immediately, otherwise he will kill me, said the Primordial Ancestor. But don't worry, he only captured my illusionary avatar. Illusionary avatar? Great Saint Tianyu couldn't recognize it. Luo Feng was surprised. He hadn't even cultivated an avatar himself yet. The inheritances from the Heart Shadow sect didn't have any secret technique for avatars. Could the Primordial Ancestor possibly have managed to cultivate an illusionary avatar? The illusionary avatar is also a real physical body, just weaker than my main self, the Primordial Ancestor explained. Luo Feng nodded slightly. If the primordial ancestor was captured, he would have been somewhat troubled. Now, LuoFeng was only filled with burning fury. They had started targeting people close to him? LuoFeng's killing intent grew even more intense. You must be careful. If they ask you to go there may be an ambush waiting, the primordial ancestor cautioned. Don't worry. LuoFeng nodded, then stepped forward and disappeared into the void. Thousand-Star Tower, merely a somewhat ordinary merchant in Chu Capital, yet today marked its most special day ever. 2 first-rank marquises and 3 guest officials of Primal Chaos Realm were inside Thousand-Star Tower. The fate of Great Saint Luo is blurred and causality is converged. It is very hard to discover much about him, said the old woman next to Marquis Chu Ji. His rise was abrupt, and even close friends are exceedingly rare. He might be the reincarnation of some old fellow. When we make our move later, we must give it our all. Against any pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm cultivator, we cannot afford the slightest carelessness, said the old man with rings of gold on his left arm. The man in blue robes sneered, the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm, already touching the threshold of Godly King. However, this Luo specializes solely in the cultivation of the physical body, and his moves are rather clumsy, which actually makes him easier to deal with. Like the Origin Dao of Time, Origin Dao of Space, Origin Dao of Causality and so on. Many Daos, if reached the pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm, are very unpredictable and capturing or killing them is very difficult. Like LuoFeng defeating Marquis Chu Yuan before, but he couldn't retain him. And those who specialize solely in the physical body, while indeed tough to annihilate, usually have other aspects that are weaker. No matter what the opponent is like, we must go all out, Marquis Chu Ji stated. The stronger the physical body the better, for I can enjoy the battle more, snarled the black-haired, ugly Marquis Chu Yuan. Soon I'll smash him with thousands of clubs, turn him into a pile of mush. Let's see how strong his physical body is. The other 4 pinnacles of Primal Chaos Realm were already used to Marquis Chu Yuan's temperament. In the imperial clan of Flame Wind Ancient Country, such rampant madness was rare. Yet in Thunder Ancient Country's imperial clan, most of the powerful members were like this, with only a few being calm and rational. He's here, the old woman spoke, gazing off into the distance with a somewhat anxious heart. Being a student of the Origin Dao of Causality, she always felt that Luo's fate was too hazy, she could see too little. Oh. A man in black emerged from the void, his forehead adorned with a cluster of dark golden spikes, his face bearing a hint of chill. As soon as he stepped out, he looked toward Thousand-Star Tower, immediately focusing on those 2 first-rank marquises and 3 guest officials. Marquis Chu Yuan, Marquis Chu Ji, and the 3 guest officials, LuoFeng observed them. You all have statuses, yet you dared to make a move against the eternal true God by my side. Guest official Luo, he has been staying inside his cave mansion without going out. We merely used a small trick to kindly invite guest official Luo to meet, Marquis Chu Ji said smilingly, his voice hearty. Surely, guest official Luo, he is also aware of some conflicts we have with Emperor Chu Yu. Since coming to Chu Capital, I have been in closed-door cultivation and am not very clear about the details of the conflicts among the first-rank marquises, LuoFeng spoke. Marquis Chu Ji and the others were somewhat surprised. As a guest elder invited by Emperor Chu Yu, he does not know about Emperor Chu Yu's conflicts with them? Well, it doesn't matter if you don't know, Marquis Chu Ji continued. We give you 2 options. 1. Distance yourself from Emperor Chu Yu and no longer assist him. 2. Continue to help Emperor Chu Yu and be our enemy. 2 paths, you choose one. Choosing a guest elder needs to be done carefully. Emperor Chu Yu was initially worried about encountering an ingrate and preferred to select someone trustworthy and with great potential for gradual cultivation. The first time Emperor Chu Yu invited LuoFeng, he thought LuoFeng was an eternal true god of unlimited godly bodies and hoped to support each other for mutual growth. Emperor Chu Yu was prepared for an early period of restraint. Only later LuoFeng's strength was unexpectedly strong. Choose between 2 paths? LuoFeng looked at them with a smile that was not quite a smile. You think you are fit to make me choose? Marquis Chu Yuan, Marquis Chu Ji, and the 3 guest officials suddenly changed color. We fit too. Marquis Chu Ji's eyes flashed with anger, and the inherently hot-tempered Marquis Chu Yuan's body surged with thunder. The blue-robed man coldly huffed. An illusionary avatar of the primordial ancestor, who had been bound and unable to move aside, instantly vanished, and the sky around Thousand-Star Tower grew dark. The old woman glanced at LuoFeng. A silent spiritual attack enveloped LuoFeng, obscuring his mind, blurring his perceptions. But LuoFeng, who had reached the 2nd realm of Godly King in terms of spiritual will and possessed the Yuan technique, was not bothered by this confusion at all. Causality obscuring? LuoFeng detected the opponent's move. The opponent's spiritual will level was just entering the threshold of Godly King, but this spiritual attack aimed to blur all his perceptions. This must be Sun guest official by Marquis Chu Ji's side, adept at the law of causality, and the origin Dao of causality is indeed mysterious and unpredictable. The old man with rings of gold on his left arm stared at LuoFeng, the circles of gold on his left arm vanishing into thin air. 5 illusionary rings of gold appeared out of nowhere, encircling LuoFeng and instantly tightening, the 5 rings binding LuoFeng's body, containing powers of seal, bind, strangle and suppress. Luo, he didn't avoid my golden bands? The old man sneered upon seeing this. His true body is definitely doomed. Seeing the 5 golden bands trap LuoFeng, the blue-robed man revealed a smile, and the entire area faintly manifested a grand array. As the array operated, countless chains of heaven and earth enveloped Luo Feng. Marquis Chu Ji showed a slight smile, victorious. The moment he was trapped by the golden bands, the outcome was already determined. Is this your capability? LuoFeng's voice suddenly rang out, his body slightly exerting force. All the basic components of his 5 types of transformation methods had already transformed into yin-yang particle form, his power tremendously increasing. LuoFeng's 5 transformation methods, 4 of which are for close combat. Using the Galaxy Transformation method, Luo Feng could now simultaneously execute 23,000 blade lights during the use of the blade technique of Primal Chaos Realm. In close combat, which merely bursts forth immense power and puts little strain on the spiritual will, Luo Feng was able to unleash over 10 billion units of power through the transformation method, reaching an unimaginably powerful level. Boom, 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 boom. With a single exertion, all 5 golden hoops shattered. Every heavenly chain that touched the surface of Luo Feng's clothing naturally disintegrated upon contact. This scene shocked both the first-class Marquis and the 3 guest officials of the Primal Chaos Realm. My 5 golden hoops shattered? The elderly man couldn't believe what he saw. These are weapon secret treasures and they're broken? He could accept the golden hoops being stretched out. But shattering instantaneously? When the chains formed by the heaven and earth array touched Luo Feng's clothing, they disintegrated naturally. He could distinctly sense the incredible power that was encountered at the moment his controlled chains touched Luo Feng's clothing. Upon contact they were annihilated. Escape quickly. He is not just at the pinnacle of the Primal Chaos Realm, he has transcended it. The man in the green robe transmitted a message while trying to flee simultaneously. Rumble. Centered around the 1,000-star tower, endless silver light emerged, enveloping and forming a colossal silver cage that now completely enclosed the entire 1,000-star tower. Thinking of leaving? Luo Feng took a step forward, his figure traversing through the void, already appearing beside the man in the green robe. His 5 fingers grasped the man's body, and instantly the area surrounding them within several meters turned into chaos. All layers of space disintegrated, and a terrifying force assaulted the walls of the world. Under this strike, the body of the Great Saint of Heaven was utterly wiped out, without even a shred of capability to struggle. First, the 5 golden hoops were crushed, and the heavenly chains disintegrated, followed by the inability of the Great Saint of Heaven to withstand even one strike. This heavily shocked Marquis Chu Ji and the others. Although the divine body of the Great Saint was not exceptionally powerful, as a cultivator of the origin Tao of the world, his strength was considered comparable to that of Marquis Lu Yin, and his life-preserving capabilities were strong. Yet, he was extremely vulnerable in front of Luo Feng. Boom. Boom. Luo Feng's arms suddenly swelled enormously, resembling pillars of the heavens. His hands simultaneously reached out toward the elderly man and the woman. Luo Feng naturally had detailed intelligence on both the first-class Marquis and the 3 guest officials of the Primal Chaos Realm. In fact, the 3 guest officials had the strongest ability to escape. Thus, Luo Feng dealt with the Great Saint of Heaven who controlled the heavens and earth first, then the other 2 guest officials. As for Marquis Chu Ji and Marquis Chu Yuan, while strong they were weaker in terms of escape. Buzz. The palm of Luo Feng's hands traversing through the void, appeared out of nowhere close to the 2 guest officials of the Primal Chaos Realm. Marquis, let's go. The old woman grabbed Marquis Chu Ji, and in an instant she disappeared without a trace. The body of the elderly man dispersed, avoiding Luo Feng's grasp. When his body reappeared from afar, he angrily looked towards the silver cage. This cage has cut off the void, separating the inside from the outside world. Luo Feng's silver-like cage had cut through every layer of space, preserving only the walls of the world. Phew. The woman, having escaped with Marquis Chu Ji to a distant point above the Marquis mansion, finally looked back with assurance towards the direction of the 1,000-star tower. Marquis, I can only barely take 1 life from the Primal Chaos Realm with me using the causality escape technique, the woman said. I could only bring the Marquis out. The causality escape technique, where one merges with the threads of causality to flee, is a powerful escape method that the woman developed from her study of the origin Tao of causality, based on the heritage she got from the Flame Wind ancient country. This method of escape, carrying a life form along, significantly increases in difficulty. I owe it to Guest Elder Sun. Without Guest Elder Sun, I could not have escaped. Marquis Chu Ji anxiously looked towards the distance. His gaze penetrated the spatial barriers to view the silver cage. That cage can isolate the inside from the outside, making escape very difficult. Guest Elder Sun, is there a way to save Marquis Chu Yuan and the others? Marquis Chu Ji asked. There's no way. The woman shook her head. Not only are Luo He's moves extremely fast, but he can also traverse through the void even under the control of the Great Saint of Heaven. If I were to use the causality escape technique to sneak in, the moment I materialize I would probably be hit. My godly body is not even as strong as that of brother Luo He. Once hit, this true body would surely die. He must be a transcendence of the Primal Chaos Realm who specializes in physical strength, capable of competing with godly kings with his physical body alone. He's not someone we can contend with, the woman added, somewhat frightened. Marquis Chu Ji grimaced. I didn't expect that this time only the 2 of us would escape. As a first-class Marquis, Emperor Chu Yu received the news about the battle at the 1,000-star tower immediately, being very well informed within the Chu Capital. What, Marquis Chu Yuan and Marquis Chu Ji, 5 of them against brother Luo? Emperor Chu Yu became anxious. Didn't I warn brother Luo to be careful? How could he still have been ambushed? Emperor Chu Yu was filled with anxiety, instantly arriving above the Marquis mansion, his gaze stretching towards the direction of Thousand Star Tower as described in the reports. His eyes pierced through the spatial obstacles, and he saw a silver cage enveloping the Thousand Star Tower from afar. Thousand Star Tower is sealed by a silver-like cage. This silver-like cage? Emperor Chu Yu suddenly paused, clearly remembering the scene when Luo Feng unleashed the mighty galaxy, with its blade light tearing through the sky in Huyang City. This silver light, could it be brother Luo's method? Marquis Chu Yuan and the other 4 set out against brother Luo, yet instead of fleeing, brother Luo counteracted with the silver-like cage, sealing the entire battlefield? Emperor Chu Yu sensed something was amiss. But now that the silver-like cage had sealed the area, it was difficult for the outside world to pry into, and at this point the likes of Marquis Chu Ji, who had suffered a great loss, weren't about to voluntarily disclose any information. At this moment, all significant powers in Chu Capital had received the news that Marquis Chu Yuan, Marquis Chu Ji, and 3 guest elders were confronting guest official Luo, yet the details of the battle were still unclear to many. That madman Marquis Chu Yuan really made his move. To Emperor Chu Yu, Luo is just one guest official, right? If Luo were obliterated and lost his weapon secret treasures, I'm afraid his strength might be greatly reduced. The other first-class marquises were quite patient, waiting for the outcome of this conflict. Common sense would dictate that the guest official Luo, facing 5 opponents, is unlikely to end well. In Chu Capital, within the quiet room of Great Saint Tianyu's cave mansion where he cultivated, suddenly, a brick on the floor transformed into a silhouette, the figure of the green-robed Great Saint Tianyu. Rumble. Cosmic primal chaos divine power surged into the miniature universe, gradually restoring the physical body of Great Saint Tianyu. My true body has been destroyed, said the Great Saint with a grim expression. As a pinnacle expert of the primal chaos realm, the weapon secret treasures he cared about most were those he carried on his person, as only then could he unleash his full strength. Only some resources and treasures were temporarily stored in his cave mansion. Fortunately, as a guest elder, the merit points I accumulated were all exchanged for inheritances and resources, which I used on my person, thought the Great Saint Tianyu. Most of the resources accumulated by such strong individuals were dedicated to cultivation. This enabled them to obtain more powerful inheritances and cultivate to higher realms with stronger secret techniques. Even if their true bodies died and were resurrected, their realm and secret techniques would not be lost. My 3 formation diagrams, valued at 30 billion cosmic sand, are all gone. The Great Saint took the loss of the 3 formation diagrams to heart. With the diagrams I could control the heaven and earth array, and my strength was double what it is now. But my formation against Luo was nothing but a joke. In fact, that formation did have some influence on Luo Feng, which is why Luo Feng targeted the Great Saint first. This time, having provoked someone who has transcended the Primal Chaos Realm, the matter may not be so easily resolved. The weakened Great Saint Tianyu also arrived above the cave mansion, looking towards the direction of Thousand Star Tower and seeing that sealed silver-like cage. Like the 3rd-generation ancestor from the lineage of Duandong River, who created his own secret technique which included the Undying River method. And most of the inheritances created by individuals in the first realm of Godly King level wouldn't even make it into the Flame Wind Ancient Country's treasury. The inheritances in the treasury of the Flame Wind Ancient Country mostly have significant origins, which naturally include numerous life-saving methods. Luo Feng, who practiced the 8 tribulations life form from the first calamity, merged 3 of the major branches of the Great Tao of Life origin, also possessing many life-saving techniques. Although Luo Feng's contemplation time was short, he naturally learned 2 life-saving techniques. Of course, with Luo Feng's perfect divine body cultivating the transformation method, to force Luo Feng to use a life-saving technique would be extremely difficult. The silver-like cage sealed the entire area of the Thousand Star Tower, cutting through space and separating the inside from the outside. The merchants, attendants, and guests inside the Thousand Star Tower were all terrified. Although the Thousand Star Tower had activated its formations to protect each building, the tower's formations had no right to tap into any of the power of Chu Capital. Hence, any Pinnacle Primal Chaos Realm expert could destroy the Thousand Star Tower if they fully unleashed their abilities. Why did the conflict between first-class marquises break out in our Thousand Star Tower? May it not involve us. They were all nervous, fearing their lives would be jeopardized. Suddenly, a grand voice echoed, "It was foolish of us having offended guest official Luo. I beg guest official Luo to spare me, to let this true body go. I am willing to offer 10 billion cosmic sand as compensation." The figure of the old man with the golden hoop dissipated, invisible and intangible, but his voice resounded. "The infinite body is indeed somewhat interesting," Luo Feng commented. The old man with the golden hoop cultivated the origin Tao of the infinite. His golden hoop that entrapped enemies was formidable, and his body, the infinite body, had strong evasion capabilities. Among his peers, the old man with the golden hoop was even more fearsome than Marquis Luin. But the old man had encountered Luo Feng. Although Luo Feng's realm was somewhat inferior, he relied on the terror of his physical body to break laws with force. Now, Luo Feng's silver-like cage cut through every layer of space, leaving only the world's membrane wall. At the level of the Primal Chaos Realm, there were very few methods to escape. Causal escape, was one as Luo Feng couldn't intercept causality. But the old man's infinite body could not escape. Rumble. Suddenly, silver light enveloped the entire thousand-star tower, and in an instant, everything was gathered within the star tower. Luo Feng had no desire to involve the pitiful cultivators inside the thousand-star tower. Guest official Luo He. The voice of the old man with the golden hoop echoed in the air, attempting to continue his persuasion. All of you took action against me and now with just 10 billion cosmic sand, you want to save your true body? Luo Feng scoffed. Boom boom boom. Dense blade light of countless galaxies appeared, 20,000 blade lights of galaxy, each containing the mood of splitting the heavens. These blade lights did not discriminate between friend and foe, attacking all parts of the silver light cage simultaneously, leaving no dead angles. These 20,000 blade lights formed the most basic yin-yang particle state, with their power multiplied several times over. Coupled with the increased number of galaxy blade lights Luo Feng controlled, one could only imagine the extent of their power. No, the golden-hooped elder with the infinite body was somewhat desperate as the overwhelming power covered every spot, even encompassing Luo Feng himself, leaving the golden-hooped elder with no avenue of escape. At this moment, every part of the silver cage was under attack, with annihilation occurring everywhere. Under the form of boundlessness, every bit of divine power from the golden-hooped elder was also annihilated, leaving behind only the most tenacious of the weapon's secret treasures. Luo Feng stood in the void, and although the blade light covered him as well, it didn't harm even a single hair on his head, as if a gentle breeze brushed his face. Another one resolved. Luo Feng put away the weapon's secret treasures left by the golden-hooped elder and looked towards Marquis Chu Yuan. Originally ferocious and frenzied, Marquis Chu Yuan incredibly did not make a move throughout. By this point, his black hair had been nearly obliterated by the endless blade light, revealing his tough black skin underneath. You are stronger than me, Marquis Chu Yuan, staring at Luo Feng, said in a deep voice. I admit defeat. Luo Feng smiled, looking at Marquis Chu Yuan. I must say, I'm starting to see you in a new light. Everyone says Marquis Chu Yuan is fierce and reckless, without restraint. But in my presence, aren't you quite docile and also understand the concept of defeat? Marquis Chu Yuan's eyes flickered with lightning, as rage ceaselessly scorched his soul. But the hardships he had endured from childhood had taught him that when one is weak, one must bow down. How can I secure my release? Marquis Chu Yuan asked. You set the terms. You've already targeted my friends and family, and you still think you can escape this calamity? Luo Feng looked at him. You did the deed, you must pay the price. As he spoke, Luo Feng's arm swelled up in an instant, reaching towards Marquis Chu Yuan. Then come on. With no way to escape or dodge, Marquis Chu Yuan no longer contained the fury that twisted his soul. In a flash, his entire body bathed in lightning, his eyes filled with it too, and he swung a black staff down. Bah! Luo Feng's enormous palm blocked the black staff. At the same time, countless black liquids flowed across the surface of his palm, enveloping the staff and quickly spreading toward Marquis Chu Yuan. Whoosh! Unable to pull the staff free, Marquis Chu Yuan immediately let go and retreated explosively. My full-powered strike didn't harm him in the slightest and my staff was taken instead? Marquis Chu Yuan perceived the immense gap more clearly. Escape. Luo Feng watched the figure transformed into lightning and fleeing, shaking his head slightly. Innumerable black liquids surged from his body, and although the Black Abyss transformation method wasn't as fast or sharp as the Galaxy transformation method, it was superior in terms of binding and entangling. Countless black liquids instantly spread throughout the silver cage, engulfing everything in their path, leaving no room for escape, however swift one's movement might be. In his frenzy, Marquis Chu Yuan was completely submerged by the black liquid, trapped and enshrouded. Whoosh! Luo Feng looked at the bound Marquis Chu Yuan. Split. With a single thought, billions of units of the Black Abyss transformation method simultaneously exerted force, causing Marquis Chu Yuan's body to stretch and enlarge, yet remain unharmed. So tenacious? Luo Feng was surprised. Then he reached out his hand, and the 4 types of transformation methods attached to his body erupted simultaneously, with hundreds of billions of units of transformation law unleashing their power. LuoFeng's palm, carrying a world-shattering terrifying force, smacked down on the bound body of Marquis Chu Yuan. Crack. Marquis Chu Yuan got smashed into dozens of pieces of lightning flesh. The dozens of pieces of lightning flesh remained incredibly tough, filled with endless vitality. Although shattered, the divine power has hardly depleted? Luo Feng was astonished. I'd heard that those at the Pinnacle of Primal Chaos Realm who focus solely on physical cultivation would have unbelievably tough bodies, which even ordinary godly kings would have to whittle down over time. Continue your adventure at MVL. Luo Feng pondered for a moment and then made another move. One palm strike after another, in almost the blink of an eye, Luo Feng delivered thousands of consecutive blows. Each strike unleashed his full power, with the combined might of hundreds of billions of transformation law units. This continuous assault pulverized the pieces of lightning flesh even more until they turned into strands of lightning liquid. From solid to liquid state, the myriad parts of lightning liquid still tried to fuse and gather together. I've beaten him into a pulp, into a liquid, and the depleted power is so minimal? It's even recovering? Luo Feng was rather speechless, as Marquis Chu Yuan consistently had the support of minor universe divine power, a small loss followed by quick recovery, No wonder he's considered a likely candidate for Transcendence of Primal Chaos Realm. Luo Feng was also somewhat troubled. Marquis Chu Yuan was virtually unkillable. Well, at least take his weapon. Although Luo Feng had obtained the weapon secret treasures left by 3 Pinnacle Primal Chaos Realm beings, the most precious was still Marquis Chu Yuan's staff. It's indeed a godly king-level weapon, befitting of a first-rate marquis. Throughout Chu Capital, only 3 beings could see the battle inside the silver light cage, watching as Luo Feng swung his arm thousands of times, brutally pounding Marquis Chu Yuan into a pulp, into a liquid state. Chu Yuan, this kid, has cultivated the primordial bloodline inheritance of the 8 techniques of Thunderbolt, and he's just one step away from the Thunder Beast juvenile body, so one can only imagine how tough his body is. Yet he's reduced to liquid by this Luo He? A female voice sounded somewhat astonished. This Luo He's physical cultivation is very strong, almost 1 to 2% as strong as mine, said a rough voice with a hint of admiration, but he's too rough in other aspects. He would suffer against a godly king. At this moment, the Emperor observed Luo Feng with keen interest as well. For them, the addition of one more being who might transcend the Primal Chaos Realm was a happy occasion for the entire lineage of Emperor Chu. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming great videos.